Yeah. They didn't have to say it. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Cape Coral City Council. Today is January 21st, 2026. This meeting now comes to order. Please stand for the invocation and pledge allegiance by Councilmember Kaduc.
Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to serve our community. As we gather tonight, give our council members clear minds, steady hearts, and the courage to do what is right. Protect us from temptation, especially temptation to the act of pride, anger, or self-interest, and guide our decisions towards fairness, safety, and peace. Grant wisdom, patience, and unity in our discussions this evening, and may your grace be upon this city, its leaders, and every family that we serve. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor Gunter,
Here.
Council Members Donnell,
Here.
Kaduc,
Here.
Kilrain, Lastra,
Here.
Lehman, Long,
Here.
Steinke,
Here.
all present.
Thank you. Item 5 is changes to the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda, or I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as presented?
Motion to adopt.
Any other council discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Lastra,
Aye.
Lehman, Long, Steinke,
Aye.
Donnell, Gunter,
Aye.
Kaduc,
Aye.
Kilrain,
Aye.
8 ayes, motion carried.
Okay, item 6 is recognitions and achievements. 6A is Community Recognitions Award for the Cape Junior Sharks cheer team. Mr. City Manager. Crap. You get to hold that in. Ready?
Today, it is my honor to award the Cape Junior Sharks Mighty Mites cheerleading team with the city's Community Recognition Award for an extraordinary 2025-2026 Pop Warner season. The team has represented Cape Coral with excellence, sportsmanship, and heart. Their achievements this year place them amongst the elite youth cheer programs in the region and across the country. This season, the Mighty Mites earned first place at 3 major competitions: the local Peace River Conference in Fort Myers, the regional championship in Orlando, and the national championship in North Carolina. At regionals in Orlando, they defeated their biggest rival by an impressive 8-point margin, a truly impressive achievement in Pop Warner cheer, where scores are usually separated by only a few points. At nationals in North Carolina, the Mighty Mites not only took first place in their division, get this, but they also received the highest show score across all ages, marking them as one of the most dynamic and outstanding teams in the entire event. Their victory at nationals earned them an invitation to the prestigious Globals competition in Atlantic City on February 26, giving Cape Coral a national and now global stage presence in youth cheer. The success of the Mighty Mites has been guided by their coaches, who have dedicated countless hours to training, mentoring, and encouraging these athletes, and to the families and supporters who have traveled, fundraised, and cheered every step of the way. As they prepare to compete at Globals in Atlantic City on February 26, They are working hard to not only on their routine, but also raising funds needed to get to globals. Congratulations to every athlete, coach, and family member on this remarkable achievement, and best of luck at globals in Atlantic City. Everyone is confident that you will represent Cape Coral with the same pride and excellence that brought you here today. Congratulations.
Okay. Congratulations on your achievements.
Go get them, ladies. Go get them. You go. Yes. Hey, yes, that's me.
I know they'll be doing some fundraising for the February 26th, so maybe our community can help out in that endeavor. But congratulations. Okay, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. Item 7 is approval of minutes. Do we have a motion regarding the minutes from the regular meeting
Motion
of
to
January
approve.
7th, 2026?
Second.
I hear a motion and a second. Is there any council discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 8 is business. 8A is the consent agenda. I'll open up the consent agenda for council to pull any items for discussion, or I will entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Any other council discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Lastra,
Aye.
Leitman, Long,
Aye.
Steinke,
Aye.
Donnell, Gunter,
Aye.
Kaduk,
Aye.
Kilrain. 8 ayes, motion carried.
Thank you. Item 8C is unfinished business. C1 is follow-up items for council. There's none listed. Item 2 is follow-up items for city management. There's none listed. Item 9 is ordinances and resolutions. 9B is legislative public hearings. First of which is ordinance 60-25, and this is a legislative hearing. There wasn't any quasi-judicial hearings noted on the agenda under 9A. 9B are the legislative hearings, first of which is ordinance 60-25. Madam City Clerk, please read the title and read the second and final public hearing.
Ordinance 60-25, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of Cape Coral, Florida, approving the development agreement by and between the city of Cape Coral, a Florida municipal corporation, and Gulf Gateway Resort and Marina LLC, a Florida limited liability company, for a mixed-use project known as Seven Islands, located on approximately 47 acres, properties located at 106 Old Burnt Store Road North and 606 Old Burnt Store Road North, providing for severability and an effective date.
Okay, thank you. I'll turn it over to staff to start with.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. Sharon Woodbury, Economic Development Manager. As was stated, this is the second hearing for this project, which is a development agreement and a precursor to the purchase and sale of the Seven Islands property that's approximately 47 acres. In the last hearing, I discussed what the components of that would be. I'm happy to answer any additional questions or review it again if that's the desire of council. I did want to reiterate that this is the result of community engagement that's happened over an extended period of time in terms of what the residents wanted to see at the Seven Islands location. The Northwest Neighbors Association was very much engaged in the plan that you see before you. That plan lays out what the developer is proposing to develop in exchange for the sale of the property. We have representation from the developers if you would like to hear from them as well, but I'm going to leave it to council to determine whether you want any additional information from me or to review the project again.
Thank you. I know we had a presentation in the last hearing, so is everyone, and I know it's part of our backup material. So is it all right if we continue moving forward in the public hearing, or does anyone want to hear the presentation again? All right, we'll continue moving forward. Thank you. I'll now open up our second and final public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on ordinance 60-25, please come forward. Use the podium to my left, your right.
Well, good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. My name is Jerry Smith. I'm from the Northwest Cape Coral, and I am the immediate past president of the Northwest Cape Coral Neighborhood Association. I represented the membership of NWNA while serving on the Seven Islands Design Plan Committee meetings with fellow board member John Smart is also here. He's our development chair. John? So we, as you heard in the last hearing, we were part of that 40-person super group of stakeholders that were put together. No easy task trying to get everybody's point across, but it really worked out well. And I thought Sharon did a great job. As time progressed, open communication between NWNA, city staff, Sharon Woodbury, and surprisingly, the developers, resulting in a common ground for collaboration, and I thought a very good working relationship. From there, the members of city staff, the developers, they were invited to our open public meetings. They were willing to come. And they directly engaged our members and citizens, and they were willing to openly talk about the project and really educate our members and anyone who showed up at those meetings, as well as people in this room did. The developers continued to respond to our members by sponsoring social events, producing architectural renderings for all to see. And in doing so, it really gave us the first visual of this project, and it really gave us full transparency and full disclosure, which I thought was important. You really got to see what it's going to look like. So on behalf of NWNA, we approved the Seven Islands site plan as presented in committee. Now, you got to realize this was over a couple of years. So on behalf of our over 1,900 members at the time, John and I did represent the entire group. And having a common voice to do so gives us the opportunity not to fill up busloads of people to come here and address you today. We can do that for them. So our takeaway from those meetings is we were aligned with city staff and the members of the Economic Development Committee. So this project delivers the sense of place and the quality of life destination that was portrayed in the Northwest Cape Seven Islands Vision Plan, which was published in 2016. In closing, the abundance of public amenities featured in the Community Island 7.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. Kevin Black, I'm the current president of the Northwest Cape Coral Neighborhood Association. I'm here today to share with you results of a survey that we conducted with our members. We do this often to gauge the interest of our membership, what concerns them most, what issues they have with the big projects that might be facing Northwest Cape Coral. We had over 300 respondents over the past 2 weeks, 150 within 24 hours, which shows you that our association, our membership is engaged in what we do. The Seven Islands project didn't even come up as a primary concern for the membership. In fact, it was UEP3, the 2-lane section of Burnt Store Road, burst, a new exit out the spreader, but not Seven Islands. I think that's in large part is our membership has been exposed to what Seven Islands is going to be all about, thanks to how the developer has engaged with them. A lot of people, when they don't know things, they come up with their own solutions or what they think it's going to be, and that's not the case. And I think that minimized any comments we had. We had one negative comment, that happens. Everybody's welcome to their opinion. I believe, and I would add also that Seven Islands is the #1 hit on the nwcape.com website month after month after month. People are going there for information to stay on top of the project. I believe Golf Gateway and Marina will be a hub in the Northwest, something that the members have been looking for a long time: restaurants, shops, a place to meet. The ability to bike, ride, golf cart, boat, you name it, to go meet neighbors, where neighbors can meet neighbors, hang out with your dog in the dog park that they're going to build, maybe go see some entertainment in the amphitheater. They're building a community center, and we were at a meeting when Peter leaned over to me and said, we have got to get that community center for you all in the Northwest so you have a place to meet and have events. And I think that says a lot about this developer and what they want to do. The Northwest is going to be a great place to live in the future as it is now. When you think about what this body approved in terms of median enhancements along with UEP3, we're going to beautify all the medians up through the Northwest to Kismet, over to Burnt Store, and what the developers are going to do. It's going to be amazing when we add this onto that as well. And we look forward to seeing it come to fruition. Golf Gateway and Marina is a project that the Northwest Neighborhood Association supports, as Jerry said. And we hope you support it as well and move forward with a development agreement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Michael Hannon. I'm a resident of Matlacha and a member of the Matlacha Civic Association, and I'm opposed to the resolution involving the Seven Islands. I should note that the city of Cape Coral, to my knowledge, has done nothing to reach out to the island of Matlacha or the island of Pine Island to talk with them about the adverse impact that this project is going to have on our waters. All of the boaters that are going to be using this facility, if it's eventually built, are going to be coming into the Matlacha Pass. The Matlacha Pass has been polluted under EPA guidelines now for 10 years as a result of the pollution that's coming out of North Spreader Canal and the 400 miles of canals in Cape Coral. The city of Cape Coral currently is in violation of a consent order that was issued in the 70s by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection by removing the Cetus boat lift barrier. In viewing the documents that were prepared, it's difficult for me to understand everything, but I believe it's contingent on the developer obtaining all the necessary permits. I certainly hope that the money between the city of Cape Coral and the developer will not change hands until all permits are actually applied for and obtained. And the developer should be aware that those of us who are looking out for our clean water that you care not anything about, they can count on opposition to every single permit in every single venue as soon as they begin rolling. I also wonder whether the city of Cape Coral has reached out to the Florida Land Trust, which owns all the land that's west of the Spreader Waterway. Certainly, they're going to have to be a part of this process and participation. I've never known the Florida Land Trust to permit any kind of development adjacent to or through their property, such as is being planned here. And I have a question. Is there once was, as I saw, an eagle's nest on one of the islands. Is that still the case?
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Tom Shadrack, Cape Coral. I'm okay with the project going forward, and no matter what you do, Matlacha and Pine Island will never be happy. So I don't know what to do about them, and how they screwed around with our lock getting out, the Chiquita lock getting out was just crazy. But my issue is one of a conflict of interest or ethics with a donation made by, I guess, a principal of the Forest Development and Golf Gateway to the flag, the passion of the city manager of $5,000, all as a developer of the Seven Island. Now, that's $5,000 is not a lot of money when you're talking millions of progress, but again, it's the perception of ethical behavior when a city is sponsoring a fundraiser. It's just not appropriate, and a donation like that can be perceived by public as influence for a proper decision. And I think it's wrong that the city is sponsoring this fundraiser for the flag. It should be an AMVET thing or a Foreign Wars organization that should have been pushed to try to do this, and not the city of Cape Coral, because it looks bad. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak during the public hearing on ordinance 60-25? Come on up, sir.
Hi, my name's Emil Ladon. I live right across from the project off of Embers. I think the plan is way too large. And if you consider the size of the canal, I'm guessing none of you use the canal on a regular basis and have any idea what the boating traffic is like during the high tides and on weekends when the traffic's there. The canal is way too narrow to handle this kind of boat traffic. I think Wilburn Store Road's too narrow to handle the car traffic. And I just think it's a bad plan. It's an overbuild. I'd like you to consider what's happened at the Sunseeker Resort, same kind of mixed use project, big hotel right on the harbor with killer sunset views, restaurants, the infrastructure already in place, massive failure, bleeding them dry, sold for less than one third of the cost that it costs to build the place. This is the exact same thing. How can you think the builder's asking for 30 years to build this project? He obviously has cold feet about it, the economics of it. He should be wanting to jump on this and get moving. To spread this out over 30 years shows he's afraid of the economics of this project. I think the city should take that as a red flag and be very concerned about it as well. The reason he's concerned about it is for the exact same reason what's happened up at the Sunseeker. The Sunseeker has less than 50% occupancy up there. The restaurants are closed. Half the other amenities are not open. How can you expect this to be a success on a 150-foot wide canal if you can't have a hotel be a success on a bay with sunset views and all kinds of great amenities around it? I think the project is way too large for the plot. I don't see how you fit anything on the small strip of land right on Burnt Store Road that makes the islands. The builder's going to ask to fill those in because there's not enough space to put anything there. You're ruining the water retention for all the local neighborhoods there and the traffic. Like I say, it's a massive overbuild. I've been a builder my whole life. I look at this plan and I see so many problems with it that I'm stunned that it's got this far. I'm stunned that City Council hasn't taken more feel of the current construction trends here. The people are moving out, not buying here now. The condo prices are way low. He's not going to get the prices he needs to successfully sell the condos there. You can't rent hotels at you can't fill the rooms at the Sunseeker. How do you expect to fill rooms on this place? I think some of the restaurants and shops, great idea. Some parklands, great idea. The massive hotel and the high density of the residential is just too much for this plot plan, and I really hope the city takes into account the economics of this proposal and the failure up at the Sunseeker.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak on a public hearing for ordinance 60-25? Seeing none, public hearing is now closed. Is there a motion regarding ordinance 60-25?
Motion to approve.
Okay, now I'll open up for any council discussion. Councilmember Kilrain.
Yeah, I think that this project is a perfect example of a neighborhood group, the city, and the developer working hand in hand over a long period of time with a lot of input, and it's the right way to do a project. The concerns that I heard tonight were based on the current conditions. I would ask those who are worried about the traffic and the density up there to look at the project itself and the detail on some of the infrastructure that's going to go in with it. This project is going to be a long-term project. It's not going to be finished, very quickly. It's going to get started hopefully fairly quickly. And I think that based on the quality effort and the quality thought process and interaction that went on, it's a very good work product. As far as the concerns brought forth by Matt Lachey, we're here to look at the things that are best for Cape Coral. And Cape Coral considers the water quality as a high priority, and we certainly will continue to do that. And to the extent that we're going to pursue projects that might have an effect on that, it's worth discussion, but it certainly is not an impediment to proceeding forward. And with that, I fully support the project and will be supporting it. And I thank all those who participated in bringing it forward so far. And as I said, I think it's a great model for how we do projects into the future. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Steinke.
Thank you, Mayor. I would ditto everything that Councilmember Kilrain just said, and I would also give accolades to the Northwest Neighborhood Association for the great amount of involvement they had, the interest that they took in that, and the facility with which the leadership up there gave the citizens to participate in the active involvement with the developer as well. I'm wondering, since the developer is here, I don't know, certainly a little bit of prep might have been better, but I wonder if they might just take a moment and speak to the economic feasibility and the 30-year project time horizon, and if you're prepared to know anything about it, maybe a compare and contrast to Sunseeker and why Seven Islands is expected to be successful in light of what has been seen of at Sunseeker.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and staff. We'd like to thank you all for your time and your dedication to the city, and thank you for providing us the opportunity to speak. As you're all aware, this process spans over a decade, and we didn't show up with our plan, and the position of this is what you get. We agreed with the densities proposed in the D1 concept plan, which was developed through extensive public outreach and numerous Cape Coral publicly advertised hearings. Throughout this process, as stated, we included our neighbors, and we wanted to thank them for their time and participation and their invaluable input. It's important that the public is aware of that. Our development plan not only addresses the needs of our direct neighbors, but it also considers and encompasses the greater good of the city as a whole. In respect to the environmental points that were raised, as I had stated at the previous hearing, we've conducted numerous extensive on land and in water studies related to our intended development. We developed our plan to dramatically reduce the impact on the mangroves and maintain wildlife habitat, not because it was demanded of us, because we knew it was the right thing to do. Excuse me. I don't believe anything has been presented to you this evening that would challenge the validity of our studies. In reference to the traffic and infrastructure, the introduction of previous unavailable commercial space containing shopping and dining opportunities, just to name a couple, actually has a reduction effect on traffic. You don't have to travel across the city anymore to go get something to eat or to shop. Our plan was developed as an extension of the existing community and encourages a variety of alternative modes of transportation, such as golf carts, biking, arrival by boat, or walking. The plan was developed with the city and considers the existing infrastructure while incorporating significant infrastructure improvements. The buildings will be constructed hardened to withstand the most severe storms that the city has ever experienced. And the hotel could potentially serve as an emergency operations center and temporary housing for displaced citizens in the event of a storm. Finally, in reference to the positive economic impacts, they will include significantly increase property values, and millions of reoccurring tax dollars in perpetuity. In reference to the timing and the sellout of the project, as I had stated at the previous hearing, real estate goes in cycles. I believe all of you are aware of that. We would be perfectly happy with selling out the entire project tomorrow and moving forward. We will do whatever is marketly and economically feasible to move through the project as quickly as possible. Just because the timeline is laid out, it doesn't mean that we're looking to extend it any further than we have to. It's in our best interest to complete it as quickly as possible and bring the product to the market. I believe that answers all of the questions, but if you have any additional questions, I'm here for you.
No, I think that's great. And I think it was great for everyone to hear. And I am in full support of the project as I have been since I've learned more about it over the last few years.
Thank you. I would also like to introduce Peter Baytarian. He is the owner of Forest Development.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and staff. I'm Peter Baytarian, Managing Partner of Forest Development. After reviewing the response received from the RFP RCM M2 2196 MC, the city selected Forest Development Acquisitions LLC to enter into negotiations with the city. Since then, we have collaborated with the city of Cape Coral to implement the D1 Legacy Development Plan. Understanding and sharing the city's vision, and have assembled the A team of development, environmental, construction, and finance professionals. Our project, Gulf Gateway Resort and Marina Village, will be a unique destination gateway for Cape Coral. It will feature condominiums, apartments, a hotel, a marina, resort lagoon, restaurants, retail, as well as an entire island to include a community center, restaurants on the water with outdoor seating, splash pad with shade canopy, kayak launch, outdoor spaces, and a hip food truck park. We are excited about the partnership and will continue to work with the city of Cape Coral and our neighbors as we create this amazing resort destination that will enhance an area and provide amenities for residents and visitors. We're super excited to get going on the project. We're super excited to start the infrastructure work. And one of the first things that we're going to do is that community center island, so our residents have a place to gather, they have amenities to enjoy, and people from out of the area can also come into this area and enjoy it. So we're very, very excited to start this process.
Thank you.
That's it. Thank you, Mayor.
All right. Councilmember Donnell.
Thank you, Mayor. And one of the goals that we have here in the city and what you hear today to be highlighted is the Northwest Neighborhood Association. We talk about how the city, we all work together. You hear me always talking about that. And this is a classic example. And I heard it hadn't always been the way that with the Northwest in some conditions where they were supportive, but to hear that it's full support, both past and present, working with the developer, thank you developers, with the city, that's how we want to move these projects forward. As far as there were some legal concerns that came up, that's why we pay our legal team to take care of those issues. So we have full confidence that they've been breached, that have not been breached. And I did want to say to the neighbors, though, that's a little concerning. I do know that we do seek to be good partners, and that sometimes it might feel that way, but I appreciate us trying to, thank you for coming and bringing that to our attention, but that's not for us to alienate anyone. You know, we're here in the best interest of Cape Coral, but always be good neighbors. So I wouldn't mind continuing that conversation, but thank you. And I'm in full support. And for the past councils that had the fortitude to go and purchase that property, to see you all getting the shovels in the ground, it just brings, it's just, it's full circle. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Councilmember Lasker.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I would echo also, like I mentioned in I think our last meeting, I've never seen developers work so cohesively with a major neighborhood group. where you have over 1,000 members in that group. So kudos to y'all for working this out and getting it decided. To the gentleman that commented about the density, please note that this project, the density was actually decided back in 2016 by the council who served at that time. So that was decided quite some years ago, and things move slowly in government. So please note that. And then also, I believe the Army Corps permits have already been approved, correct? I was just going to speak about the comment regarding the environmental impact study, which is part of the Army Corps, I believe.
Yes, again, Sam Bauer speaking on behalf of Forest Development. Those permits were submitted in May of 2023 and are in process near completion.
Okay, awesome. So the environment is being considered. When you think about environmental impact, developers are required to receive those permits from federal and state agencies in order to move forward. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Lehman.
Yeah, I just have a quick question, sir. When you said that with the hotel, that in the case of a storm or whatever kind of situation came up, that you were hoping that it could possibly be a shelter for anyone, displaced homeowners, whatever. Are you planning on having a generator there
Yes, absolutely.
to handle the whole hotel and the community
That is our
center?
intent. The hotel also encompasses a fully automated parking system, and so the generator is really a must.
Okay. No, I was, because that, in the case of a storm, as we all saw with Ian, nobody wants to spend 12 hours on the road to evacuate.
Exactly.
That would be a good thing.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Kilrain.
Yeah, one point that I missed, and I just wanted to comment on, with respect to the insinuated pay for play that is associated with the vendor's contribution to the flag. I support the flag going forward. And I guess my background from private industry is such that I'm not used to pay for play. Some people who have other backgrounds may be used to that. I work for private companies that in small ways did it, but that wasn't part of their menu for proceeding with all work. To that extent, we welcome contractor donations, I think, and would love to see that flag go up. So anyone who would like to participate in helping on a volunteer basis with no attachments or expectations with it, I'm certainly in support of that. So
If I may comment in reference to that, we learned about that as we were traveling over here for a meeting, and we were listening to the radio and heard that there was a fundraiser for a flag. We felt like it was the right thing to do. That the city is ours, and just as well as it's anyone else's, we care about it. And we just thought it was the right thing to do and called it into a radio show. So that's how that came to fruition.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Real quickly for me, we've been talking about this project for many years. As Councilmember Laster said, back in 2015, 16, we were talking about this particular project. I think it's going to be an incredible project for the southwest region of the city. It's going to provide amenities that are much needed in that area. And I want to congratulate the developer for collaborating with the community as much as you have along the way. There's some developers that won't do that. I personally believe that that was the right thing to do because if you could get the buy-in of a majority of the community, I think that that's only going to help with the process. So with that being said, I think it's a great project. I'm going to support the project. And I'm sure I'm like a lot of other residents in the city. We wish we could snap the fingers and the project's done. But we realize that, there's going to be a phased in type project, but we're definitely looking for complete completion with all of the residential, the commercial, the restaurants, the marina, the hotel. When you look at the entire project, it's an incredible project. So I want to thank the developer for picking Cape Coral because we know you have many choices. So we wanted to thank you for picking Cape Coral to build your project here. So thank you.
Thank you. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here.
Mr. City Manager?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to utilize this development agreement and where we sit today as an example of how utilizing a vision plan brings success in project delivery. So a previous council back in 2015, 11 years ago, said we need to figure out what to do with the 7 islands, which was purchased in 2000, I believe it was 12, as part of the 491 purchase. So council said, this is going to be and has the opportunity to be a major impact on our community. Let's bring a vision plan forward. Let's engage the community. Let's engage council. Let's engage the stakeholders. On November 4th through November 6th of 2015, there was a 3-day charrette with the community involving the Northwest Neighborhood Association and multiple business owners that ended up with the delivery and acceptance of on November 14th, 2016. So over a year of work went into developing the vision plan for the Northwest and what the 7 islands could do in changing how the Northwest operates today and into the future. And since that time, staff has moved forward with that vision plan, seeking developers to bring forward what we saw was the ultimate vision in the Northwest Cape. We've used that plan to, as was discussed by one of the members today, to make changes to the cross sections of the road as part of the UEP. And we have a development agreement today to ultimately see our potential, our highest and best use for the project that is going to be contemplated if this development agreement is approved tonight. We have had to make some small tweaks with anything. A vision plan is a general sense of direction. For example, the original plan that was adopted had a full-scale marina in there. That was going to involve some permitting challenges, and so we worked with the developer in this development agreement and in their site plan to maybe revision or recast how a marina might work in this area. And actually, through that, we were able to then also come up with an alternative seawall design that was more friendlier for the environment and allowed the mangroves to stay in situ with a seawall built upland behind the mangroves. So this project, this development agreement, 11 years in the making, and a shining example of why vision plans are utilized in government many years in advance of development, and how getting the community involved in that plan carries all the way through to development. As you heard today, members from Northwest Neighborhood Association speaking on behalf of the project. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think I might have said Southwest earlier in my comments. I meant Northwest. It's a great location up here on Old Burnt Store Road, so I just want to clarify that. Seeing no other comments, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Lastra. Aye. Lehman. Aye. Long.
Aye.
Steinke.
Aye.
Donnell. Aye. Gunter.
Aye.
Kaduk. Kilrain.
Aye.
7 ayes, motion carried.
Okay, let's move on to the next item on the agenda. We have ordinance 63-25. Madam City Clerk, please read title.
Ordinance 63-25, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of Cape Coral, Florida, approving the lease purchase agreement between the city of Cape Coral, a Florida municipal corporation, and Deere Credit, Inc. for the acquisition of John Deere brand equipment for the Coral Oaks Golf Course, authorizing the mayor to execute the lease purchase agreement, authorizing the city manager or their designee to execute any purchase orders and any other related documents necessary for the lease and purchase of the equipment, providing for an effective date.
Okay, thank you. I'll turn ordinance 63-25 over to staff.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Joe Petrella, Parks and Recreation Director. I don't have a formal
Hold on just one second. Anyone speaking in the back, if you would, please, if you'd go out in the hall. Ms. Woodbury, Sharon? You guys would go out in the hallway and speak? Thank you. Go ahead, Joe, I'm sorry.
No worries. There's no formal presentation for this, but this is a 60-month lease for big equipment on the golf course that tends to last longer than 5 years. And with this lease comes a $1 buyout after the 5 years, which we fully expect to do at that time. What's different than this one than one in the resolution prior that was just passed was a 48-month fair market value lease for reel mowers, which operate on the greens and tees. Those tend to get very costly as they age, both in terms of repairs and potential turf damage. So that's why we separated out the equipment into two different ones. So we plan on bringing back another 48-month lease if they need to be done in the next 48 months once that's done. So that's kind of why there was a difference between the resolution. I know there was a question about that in our e-comments. So for any questions on it, I can cover a little bit more of it, but I'm happy to answer anything.
Thank you. I now open up the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on ordinance 63-25, please come forward. Seeing none, public hearing is now closed. Is there a motion regarding ordinance 63-25?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there any council discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Lastro.
Aye.
Lehman. Aye. Long. Steinke.
Aye.
Donnell.
Aye.
Gunter.
Aye.
Kaduke.
Aye.
Kilrain.
Aye.
8 ayes, motion carried.
Okay, let's move on to ordinance 66-25. Madam City Clerk, please read the title.
Ordinance 66-25, an ordinance amending the City of Cape Coral Code of Ordinances, Chapter 2, Administration, Article 6, Pensions, Division 2, Firefighter Pension, amending Section 2-122.5, Contributions, Section 2-122.6, Benefit Amounts and Eligibility, Section 2-122.9, Vesting, Section 2-122.27, Deferred Retirement Option Plan, providing for severability and of provisions, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing for an effective date.
Okay, thank you. I'll turn this over to staff.
Thank you, Mayor. With the passage of the collective bargaining agreement for the International Association of Firefighters, we have to take those items that were bargained and approved and move them into the plan document or the city code to actually formalize the benefit that were negotiated in that plan. So this puts them formally into the pension plan.
Thank you. I'll now open up the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on ordinance 66-25, please come forward. Seeing none, public hearing is now closed. Is there a motion regarding ordinance 66-25?
Motion to approve.
Is there any council discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Lastro.
Aye.
Lehman. Aye. Long.
Aye.
Steinke.
Aye.
Donnell.
Aye.
Gunter.
Aye.
Kaduke.
Aye.
Kilrain.
Aye.
8 ayes, motion carried.
Okay, move on to ordinance 3-26. Madam City Clerk, please read the title.
Ordinance 3-26, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of Cape Coral, Florida, amending City of Cape Coral Ordinance 50-25, which adopted the City of Cape Coral operating budget, revenues and expenditures, and capital budget for fiscal year 2026 by increasing the total revenues and expenditures by a total of $48,023,980, providing for severability and an effective date.
Okay, thank you. I'll turn it over to staff.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mayor and City Council. Crystal Feast, Financial Services Director. As read into the record, the item before you is the first budget amendment for fiscal year 2026. It was first introduced January 7th and is before you and the public tonight for formal or final hearing. So what I'll cover tonight is the purpose of the ordinance. I'll do a summary of the overall adjustment, and then I'll go into details of the categories related are included in this budget amendment. So this budget amendment is governed by Florida 166.2413, which allows the city to amend its budget at any time within the fiscal year or within 60 days following the end of the fiscal year. This is the first budget amendment for fiscal year 2026, and it captures city council action items approved from October through December of 2025, as well as needed personnel services, operating and capital adjustments not already included in the budget. So in short, this ordinance aligns the adopted budget with council's policy decisions and the operational needs that have arisen in the first quarter of the fiscal year. So budget amendment number 1 increases the fiscal year 26 budget by $48,023,980, which is an increase of 3.35% from the original adopted budget. The budget amendment is organized in 4 categories, and this categorization is in accordance with the exhibits that were included with the ordinance tonight. And so it was separated into 4 categories. First, you have your previously approved city council items totaling $24.6 million. And these are items you've already approved, typically by resolution. And it includes items such as interlocal agreements, design and construction contracts, and grant awards. The second category are other adjustments, which total $1 million. And these are technical changes and may include things such as adjustments to revenue estimates, capital project reconciliations, changes in budget category, and year-end closeout entries. The next category is encumbrance carryforwards from fiscal year 25, which total $22.4 million. These represent outstanding purchase orders for operating services and products ordered but not yet received by the end of September 30th of last year. And this can be things such as equipment, vehicles, engineering and professional services, and ongoing maintenance projects. And then finally, personnel changes total approximately $68,000. And these requests are focused and targeted to enhance our delivery, service delivery, and may include new job classifications and reclassifications of existing positions. So this slide provides you with a different perspective of the overall adjustment and includes a breakdown by source. And this is what was presented to you at your last council meeting. So the next slides that I'll go over will provide a further breakdown by this categorization. So over the last quarter, $460,000 in grant awards were accepted by City Council. Grants reduced the burden on our local tax dollars, but it is considered new spending. And so we must recognize these funds in the budget by increasing revenue along with the associated program expenditures. A portion of this amendment is related to 2 projects that already are supported by debt, and today's action ensures the budget reflects council's prior approval to move these projects forward. These adjustments are considered new spending and will be included or are included in the amendment tonight and will increase the overall budget. And the 2 projects are Yacht Basin Improvement Project and the J.C. Park Improvement Projects. And the description of what was added are here before you. The next category is transfers, and this is an internal transfer from the 6-cent gas tax fund into capital project fund to cover additional alleyway drainage improvements. These improvements were approved by Resolution 303-25. The amendment also includes adjustments to the city's estimate of LCI funding from the charter school by $1 million. This revenue will be added to the budget and appropriated toward the charter school's building maintenance and equipment. It also includes an improvement for Resolution 189-25, which was amended, which actually amended construction contract for additional services at Festival Park. The funding source for this was interest earned on GO bond proceeds. A large portion of this budget amendment includes the carry forward of outstanding purchase orders that were encumbered for products and operating services, but not purchased or received by the end of the fiscal year, as I mentioned before. This adjustment carries forward the previous year's approved funding into this year's budget. In the Stormwater Fund, Resolution 288-25 was approved to amend the contract for Hancock Bridge Parkway's drainage improvements, adding utility crossing and relocation elements to the project, and the source of funding was the Stormwater Fund balance. In the Transportation Fund, Resolution 263-25 was approved, which allowed for additional transportation improvements along Pine Island Road, and the source of this approval was road impact fees. And finally, the personnel component of this amendment is relatively modest in cost, but it's important for service delivery. The Public Works Department is reclassifying an existing custodian position to a custodial supervisor to maintain service levels and ensure effective oversight over those services. And with that, I ask for your approval of the ordinance, and I'm here to answer any questions.
Thank you. I now open up public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on ordinance 3-26, please come forward.
Hi, Tom Shadrack, permanent resident. A couple questions, kind of brought them up a couple weeks ago at the introduction or during the citizens input. It's great to see that the yacht club has finally started after 7 years of the Go Bond. And I hope, at the workshop next week, we got 2 days to talk about the budget and finances going forward. Usually we try to rush and get through that in 1 day so you can have Friday off, but I think you could spend all day trying to figure out this yacht club funding that we need to spend on what we're going to do and try to reduce this budget and get consensus that it should be reduced. I sent you all a plan that I proposed to really reduce the money, and we could have that park open by the end of next year. My point two, note number 9, that you're using interest from the Go bonds to fund new work or overruns or whatever you want to call it. That interest, that's our money that's sitting in those accounts from millage rates and funding that we've put into it. That money should be used to reduce that debt, not used for new work. That's $500,000 you could apply next year to a millage rate reduction for our repayment of that debt of $60 million. That's what we voted on. If you're making money on our money we put in there, we should see that in the future as a reduction to that debt, not using it for something else. And that goes for all the interest that we're collecting now. We got $900 million, $800 million, maybe $1 billion in money that's earning interest. That's $30 million a year. What are we doing with it? My last point, I did get a copy of all the encumbrances. Appreciate it. I don't know what a lot of it is. I assume that's what the $22 million is. I did have a question, though. When I was on the budget committee, there was always a discussion of what happens if money didn't get spent yet, or even on PO yet. If you opened a purchase rec, you would preserve your budget. Now, I don't know if that's something that's still being done or not done, but it looks like this list was just purchase orders. Is there another bucket that's purchase rec money that's saved? Because that was a discussion during the budget meetings. So I was curious if there's another lump of stuff that's not done, that's preserved, that's called purchase recs. So just a question for Crystal there. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, you know me, Julia Tari. All I see here is that maybe I'm confused, but it's increase. Now, the J.C. Park and the Yacht Club caught my interest. Why are we increasing? You haven't even decided what we're going to do with the Yacht Club yet. I thought that was still under discussion. And J.C. Park, Madon, this is getting out of hand. Sorry. More money? You just asked for $200 and something thousand for a roof. More money. So you're going to have to really explain this a little better to the people, because I'm here every week and this starting to boggle my mind. So I can't imagine how the citizens could understand why we keep asking for more money. Explain it, please.
Anyone else wishing to speak during ordinance 3-26 public hearing? Seeing none, public hearing is now closed. Is there a motion regarding ordinance
Motion to approve.
3-26?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, and open up for council discussion. Councilmember Lehman.
Yeah. Question on J.C. Park. Mr. City Manager, what are these sports enhancements? I thought that J.C. Park, everything that was going there, we already knew about. And I understand the carryovers from previous years, things that have not been completed or delivered. But enhancement says that there's more going in. What?
These are the same things that we discussed in the meeting. All this is formally aligning the budget that was approved for the roof, and the enhancements were I think they were cornhole boards and some other amenities in the
But I
park.
thought those
This is
were already included.
You did this action. So that action was approving the change order to that contract to give it,
Oh, okay.
this now then takes that change order that you all did, and we formally now have to make sure that the money is available to be spent.
Okay, thank you.
It's
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
That's what, I think that's been a common theme. This budget amendment is that people are thinking, we've already done this, we've already approved it, or we've seen this. That's right. Those individual actions that you all take when we present an item for you is the approving of the appropriation to become an expenditure. In some cases where it says budget amendment required, this is the budget amendment then that wraps all those previous approvals into formally making sure the funds are there to be spent.
Yeah, I think it's important, to mention, because the last speaker kind of insinuated these are additional expenses that we're talking about today. And that is not the case. With the yacht club basin improvements for the seawalls, boat ramps, culvert, and dredging, that is something that we approved back in 2025 under Resolution 329-25. J.C. Park improvements was additional floodproofing, sports enhancements, and the building roof expense, which totaled $648,000. We heard that in 2025 too, under Resolution 386-25. What this is doing is memorializing and updating the budget to reflect all of the decisions that we did in the first quarter, which is in October, November, and December. We're basically putting that all together, updating the budget to reflect all of the decisions that we made those 3 months. So I just want to make sure that's clear for the community. This isn't something that's an additional expense over and above what we've already talked about or what we've already approved or voted on and awarded. So I think that's important to make sure we get that message out there. Seeing no other lights on, we have a motion, second on the floor. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to have Rachel
Rachel's down this way.
Yeah, Crystal. Sorry, Crystal addressed the purchase recs versus purchase order.
Okay.
So in our system, our financial system, the first step is to create a requisition. And that is basically staff's request to get things approved, to make purchases, to request services. Once that is approved and it goes through the workflow in the system, it becomes a purchase order. So a requisition is just the first step in converting or creating purchase orders. So there's no separate bucket of requisitions that are getting carried forward or a separate category. Those requisitions actually become the purchase orders. And in this case, the encumbrances are purchase orders that were not completed or completed within the time frame, and so we're just carrying those forward.
Okay. Any other comments by council? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Lastra,
Aye.
Lehman, Long, Steinke,
Aye.
Donnell, Gunter,
Aye.
Paduk,
Aye.
Kilrain.
Aye.
7 ayes, motion carried.
Okay, we'll move on to ordinance 4-26. Madam City Clerk, please read title.
Ordinance 4-26, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of Cape Coral, Florida, amending the city of Cape Coral, Florida Code of Ordinances, Chapter 26, Cape Coral Charter School Authority, Section 26-2, creation of Charter School Authority and Board, Section 26-3, student community, Section 26-4, composition of authority board, Section 26-5, background and verification, Section 26-6, board appointments and participation, Section 26-9, terms of board members, Section 26-11, conduct of board, Section 26-13, appointment of committees, Section 26-14, adoption of regulations, rules, and resolutions, Section 26-15, powers and duties of charter school authority, superintendent, and city, and Section 26-17, administrative services, providing for severability and providing for an effective date.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. As I discussed during the introduction of this amendment to the city's Chapter 26 ordinance, this memorializes the final position that was taken by the city council during the committee of the whole meeting on the January 7th. I did disclose and identify that I did include a new section, which is 26-5, which is background and verification. That remains unaltered. And everything that you ultimately agreed during the committee of the whole has been memorialized in this document. And so it is unaltered from the November 7th presentation where I discussed all the various changes. So with that, I would look to see that there is the passage of this legislation.
Okay, thank you. I now open up public hearing. Anyone wish to speak on ordinance 4-26, please come forward. Seeing none, public hearing is now closed. Is there a motion regarding ordinance 4-26?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there any council discussion? Councilmember Kilrain.
Yeah, I'll just mention, Mayor, that in our charter board meeting, we discussed the changes and there were no opposition to the changes. So they're in full support of this too. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no other discussion, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Lastra,
Aye.
Lehman, Long,
Aye.
Steinke,
Aye.
Donnell, Gunter,
Aye.
Kaduk,
Aye.
Kilrain.
Aye.
8 ayes, motion carried.
Okay, just want to remind everyone, if you are here and want to participate in citizens input, just want to remind you to fill out a comment card. It's located over here on the desk. And the city clerk will call your name up. Just stay seated. She'll call your name up once we get to citizens input time. I will move to introductions. We do not have any, so we will move straight to item 10 is citizens input. Citizens input is a maximum of 60 minutes. Is set on input of matters concerning city government, 3 minutes per individual. Please remember to state your name for the record and remind you that you address the city council as a collective body and not as an individual. So Madam City Clerk.
Marie Kavanaugh and Julia Atari.
Ms. Kavanaugh, come on up.
Barely hear her. Yep, Marie Kavanaugh, Secretary of Take Out the Trash Committee of Cape Coral. First, I want to remind everybody that on January 31st, we're having a citizens town hall at Lake Kennedy.
This isn't an advertisement. This is for citizens input on city government. This
has everything to do with city.
Exactly, and that's why you shouldn't be commenting on it. This is for citizens input.
First of all, I tried going to the art festival on Saturday. After driving around for 15 to 20 minutes, no parking. We've got 18 plus acres in Bimini East. You guys could have set up some sort of a parking situation for people and maybe had a little shuttle go back and forth, but nope, make life miserable. I went back Sunday, same thing. And I want to challenge every one of you up there to tell all of us, give all of us, other than the canals, which are disgusting, filled with algae, fishless, name one unique project or attraction that only Cape Coral has that people will want to come here and see. Spending $300 million on the yacht club is not going to do it. Take a look at what happened to Sunseeker. They spent $700 million. What you're going to build down there isn't going to come close. And nobody, it's a waste of money. The people do not want it. And the vacancy rate in Cape Coral is over 20%. Infrastructure can't handle what we have now, yet you continually approve more and more and more and more housing units and more and more and more in the future. It needs to, the infrastructure has got to stop. It took, I went up from my house, which is Cape Coral Parkway in Pelican, to Panera the other morning, and it took me 20 minutes on Cape Coral Parkway. Ludicrous. And you want to add, you're looking at Redfish Point, adding 800 units there? I mean, come on, give me a break. You also need to have a moratorium on hiring of city employees. I know Connie Barron's getting ready to retire. Her position should not be filled. We already have a city manager, and we now have two assistant city managers. We don't need that. And I'm still waiting on updates of Bimini East. The RFP expired on the 30th of October, and we have heard nothing. Are there interested people? We don't know. You know, if there are people interested, what kind of proposals are they making? I think we have the right to know that because we're going to pay for it. Because basically what happens in Cape Coral is you have all these elaborate schemes where you spend millions and millions of dollars. We have to pay for it. And then when they're complete, you make us pay to utilize them.
No clapping, please.
Julia Tari, Vice Chair, Take Out the Trash, Cape Coral. And yes, the Citizens Town Hall is about citizens.
Well,
Just
that
saying.
doesn't have
Yes, it
anything to
is.
do with
City business. You don't
here to
know,
talk
you're not
about city
invited.
business.
Anyway, last week when I was here, I did ask about getting the drop paperwork, and I got another call from the gentleman. He got 100 and something names of the people that are on that drop with abbreviations of their job description. Is there somewhere where we can find out what those abbreviations mean? Because he would really like to know about that. Public records request. We found out that the road that goes into the food truck park down by Abishan, quite a few months back, I was at one of the town hall meetings for Councilwoman Nelson, and I was told that the road going into that town, into the food truck park needs to be fixed or widened. I guess the study was done in the summer, but the people are using it in the winter. So did anybody ever figure out when that's going to be done? Because I really want to know. It was told to me by the city manager that that has to be done, but they have to wait till the bridge is widened. I'm a little confused on that. I'd like to get an answer to that. Do we have to widen that road, and who's going to pay for it? That's kind of important, because that's going to be another thing. We asked about the steps, and quite honestly, we didn't mention whose address it was, but the mayor outed himself. Did we ever get an answer as to why that was approved? There was no railing on those stairs. We have a photo, so, saying that we didn't know what we were talking about is kind of incorrect.
You
We'd
gotta learn
like
the
an
Florida
answer to
building
that.
code. That's what you need to learn.
Yeah, because we have builders that call us and say they're getting fined and they're getting held back for doing the same thing you did. They want to know why. Thank you.
Tom Shadrach, and David Halsey.
No clapping, please. Mr. Shadrach, before you get started, because I don't want to interrupt you, so just give me a minute if you would, please. I was going to read this earlier, but since we have individuals that don't want to follow the rules, I want to make sure everybody understands the rules clearly. Citizens are given opportunities to be heard concerning city matters scheduled on the council agenda or any other matters pertinent to city business. In order to promote an orderly system and hold a public business meeting, and to ensure that individuals are not embarrassed or harassed as a result of their exercise right of free speech, the city has established rules that must be followed. These rules are council rules of procedure, which are established and adopted by resolution by the city council. A speaker is required always to maintain proper decorum. Only the person recognized by the mayor should address the city council or make any audible remarks during the business portion of the meeting, which includes citizens' input. Speakers shall address their comments to the city council as a whole, not to an individual council member or to a city staff or a member of the audience. No person shall not make personal or profane remarks or gestures. Unauthorized remarks, stomping of feet, whistling, or similar demonstrations shall not be permitted during the business meeting. No person is permitted to interrupt the city council procedures or the comments of any person recognized by the mayor in any manner. No person is permitted to behave in a disorderly manner by shouting, yelling, whistling, chanting, singing, dancing, clapping, foot stomping, cheering, or engage in any other disruptive display during the council meeting. No person can display banners, place cards, or signs. No person can distribute any handouts or materials to any members in the audience within City Hall. No person is permitted to refuse to follow the instructions of the adopted rules at the direction of the mayor and comply with these policies and rules that are governed by the city council proceedings. Any person who engages in this behavior that is prohibited within the rules and who is boisterous, disruptive in any manner in the city council meeting shall be asked to leave and may be escorted from the meeting room by the police department. So that is what the adopted rules are by council, known as our council rules of procedure. Those rules will be followed unless they change. And it is imperative during this business meeting you follow the rules. If you don't, you will be asked to leave. It's as simple as that. So I just want to warn everyone, and this may be something that I'll have to read each and every time to make sure that we adhere to the rules. Mr. Shadrach, I apologize for interrupting you, but you have the floor now.
Okay, thanks, Mayor, but I think you took more than 3 minutes, so I don't know.
I'll give you 3. You got the time clock, I don't.
Only if you make a payment to the flag.
It was a joke, guys. It was a joke, relax.
Oh, snap.
Tom Shadrach, permanent resident. My clock is started. All right, last January, I think there was a consensus of this council to have our financial monthly report start being reflective of what Lee County gets as their monthly or even quarterly now, I think. But it's very detailed, very great information. And I believe you all voted, or at least gave a consensus, I think it was a cow, to start producing this type of information. Now, the financials did come out monthly now, and we got a good shot of what the year end was with the September monthly, but it was still very limited in detail. And we really need all this data. We got the workshop next week to get something with all this data so you guys can make some intelligent, informed decisions would be helpful, because this is great stuff. Now, if you haven't looked at it, please do. I've shared it with several of you. But it's something the city manager and finance department has, and you're not getting it, because I can't get it. So if I can't get it, you're not getting it. And again, that September report showed that we have $85 million more in revenue at the end of the fiscal year than you were at the adopted budget in 25. 85 million more. Now, what was that from? And I'm only looking at the general fund and the special revenue fund, which I think are mostly yearly money. So 85 million more. And then the actuals expenses were 68 million more than the revenue. I mean, less than the revenue. So, we didn't spend a lot of that money, that extra money, and we have it over. Now, how much do we have? That's why we should have a fund balance to understand that. And our debt, what new debt did we create? Those types of things are in this report. If you had an update monthly, it would help you greatly. And you could see they even produce great charts that show variances over the last 3 fiscal years. Really good, helpful information. So not having it, I think, puts you at a disadvantage, and you should be able to get it. And that's what you, I thought, agreed to a year ago, and we don't have it today. So any comment on that? I'd appreciate it afterwards. And I think I've sent you guys all this data, the numbers. I know Dr. Donnell, he always challenged me. You say numbers without proof. I think I sent that to you. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm David Halsey. I understand last week after speaking with the mayor offline that I kind of missed the boat when I was talking about the yacht club and how we could save the $38 million. The idea of moving the pool and the community center to the golf course, we would not need a 3-story parking garage at the yacht club. And that would save us the $38 million. And right now, after listening to the cow, we have a 4.4 million credit in the design. We haven't spent all the 9 million there. So I just wanted to point that out. I'm sorry if I didn't make my point last week. I'm on a committee to rebuild my timeshare down at Fort Myers Beach. And I went to the construction meeting on Monday. And something I didn't know is we're having to put pilings in, of course, down. The building was down next to the Diamond Head. We're having to put pilings in for our pool. Now, do we have to put pilings in if we put the pool down at the yacht club? And how much more is that going to cost us? I had never heard that before, and I'm sure we're going to have to put pilings in for maybe the community center. So I don't know how much more that's going to cost us. I just wanted to throw that out. I just learned that this week, and I don't know if we've even discussed pilings being driven to build down at the yacht club. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lisette Fiallo and J. Michael Hannon.
Good evening to everybody. I'm Ms. Fiallo. On December 8, 29, I submit 5 requests to the clerk. Question: why I did not receive any response? To Rachel Kaduk: last year by email, you respond to me that you work full-time at the bank. Question: why is that mean? I assume you don't have time to work as a council member. Question: if this is the case, what are you doing sitting in that chair? Or are you and another just a puppet in that seat? Last year,
Did she mention a council member? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. I'm trying to listen to her. She's hard to understand. Just make sure you address us as a collective body and not as an individual council member.
This that I'm talking don't make sense to you today? It's different rules?
Just express what your concern is, but you can't single out any one particular council member.
Okay. Last year, Gunther and Kaduk told me in this meeting room that
Sound like two different names.
that's I know, but
Just say the city council.
okay, city council.
There we go.
Okay, meeting room. I need to get a lawyer. But Jesus, listen, see, for everybody, city council, don't be sarcastic and respect to the taxpayer. To any council, I'm feeling sorry for you. Be honest, be right in your position. Everybody sit there, work for us because we voted for you, and you have to answer to taxpayer. Question: when I request something, nobody answer. So I don't have to explain name by name. So this is my proof. On December 8, 2025, I present 5 different requests. And today is January 20, 2026. Nobody answered to me. You work for me or you are puppet in the chair.
Thank you.
And Don Hazlett.
Good evening. My name is Skyland Brown, and I'm here to speak on the proposed development at Redfish Point and the patterns of behavior behind it. First, I want to make something very clear. Your silence on this issue is loud. When a council refuses to publicly discuss environmental impacts, refuses to show updated data, and refuses to engage the community, it is not neutrality, it is neglect. And neglect, my friends, is a choice, and it definitely has consequences. Redfish Point is not empty land waiting for a developer. It is a functioning estuarine system. It filters pollutants, acts as a first line of defense against storm surge, houses juvenile fish populations, and I could go on and on about the benefits of this piece of land. When you pave over wetlands and cut into mangroves, you are not creating value. You are removing natural and free infrastructure that keeps this city alive. After Ian, Milton, Debbie, Helene, we saw the difference between neighborhoods with and without buffers. That wasn't luck, that was simple ecology. Which brings me to my economic piece, because CAPE wants to pretend that environmental issues are separate from financial ones. Did you know that our ecosystem generates billions of dollars in tourism revenue? Boating, fishing, kayaking, eco-tours, hospitality, bait shops, marinas. The entire sector exists because of our waterways, our mangroves, and our wildlife. Destroying the very ecosystem that fuels our economy is not smart growth. It is a self-inflicted economic harm. The real slap in the face is when we are told growth is justified by outdated data using 2020 census data, as if CAPE hasn't gone through major storm displacement, insurance upheaval, constant recovery over the last 4 years. Investors, this is for you. No matter what they say, Ian was not an isolated event. Extreme storms are increasing in frequency and severity. Insurance companies know it, scientists know it, and developers, for some reason, ignore it. Which is why our growth does not reflect that. That's not planning, that's wishful thinking disguised as policy. So here's the ask. Stop approving development on autopilot, stop pretending silence is transparency, stop choosing short-term developer profit over long-term community silence. I will close with this because no one here gets immunity from reality. I just want to note that Mother Nature does not care about your tax bracket. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, you all know who I am. I'd like to know what you plan to do, Mayor, or any council members. We know, you know what I'm talking about, right? Or are you going to sit up there and pretend you don't know what I'm talking about? Which is it? Last time he tried to intimidate me looking at me. I'm not scared of none of you. You are not allowed to make laws that infringe on my rights. But the police infringed on my rights quite a bit. And you guys ignore it like it doesn't matter. Why is that? I think that deserves an answer, don't you? I was attacked by the police department. You told me my fight was with them, not you, but you're their boss. So what's the deal? I'm giving every one of you a chance to speak. I brought premeditated murder to the police department and how that family tried to do the same thing to me. And you guys act like I've done something wrong because I don't want to put up with your disrespect and your nonsense or your threats. I'm not the one. Y'all made a mistake, a very big one. Now, what happens when the society hears about what I went through because of you and your dereliction of duty by ignoring me? What happens to the property values then, Mayor? When people can't even feel safe with their own police department or their own city council, mayor, anybody? When do the citizens get protected from you? Those are all fair questions. You're awful silent. You wanted to intimidate everybody else speaking. Intimidate me, sir. I'm really not the one. And after having my life threatened again, I'm done playing with you people. These are crimes, legitimate federal crimes that are being covered up or ignored, which is a dereliction that everybody up there is doing, with it including this clown right here. I'm not happy with none of you. I'm actually disappointed in all of you. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You just have us come here and speak so you can rubber stamp whatever you're going to do anyway. None of that has nothing to do with me. I'm talking about murder. That is being ignored. Attempted murder, murder for hire. I'm not making anything up. I'm not lying. I don't have any mental disorders or any of the other false narratives that your police created for me in the courthouse. So how do y'all want to answer this? Or are you just going to sit there and be quiet? Because I'm not going to be.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yep, sir, please, your 3 minutes is up. Have a seat. Have a seat.
That's the last comment card, sir.
All right. Was that the last one? All right. Okay, the citizens' input is now closed, and I'll open it up for any council discussion for citizens' input. Councilmember Lastra.
Thank you, Mr. Hazlett. If you would stay, I'll say this again to you. I've recommended twice now for you to file a complaint with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement if you have any issues concerning our police department. That is the appropriate way and vehicle to formalize that complaint. Because your case is in the courts, it is above our jurisdiction as a council to be able to assist you. Let's see, Ms. Kavanaugh, thank you for speaking. We do have 420 miles of canals, which makes us very unique. As the young lady Skyland stated, ecotourism is a big thing for us. And I think us utilizing our waterways and bringing some new attractions to our city along those waterways is something that our vision has been for this city long before I got here. So I appreciate you speaking. I'm going to kind of bounce around. Skyland, I apologize. I called you Skylar last time. Skylar, that was very Texan, I'm sorry. But your name is Skyland. And I wanted to say to you that Redfish Point hasn't come up yet for us. But I can assure you when it does, all of those environmental concerns that you and other residents have been taken into consideration, and we've been researching. I know for myself personally, I worked out on Captiva for a year and a half for the Erosion Prevention District, which is a special legislative district. I learned all about natural seawalls, and you're absolutely right. Mangroves, all of those growths in natural seawalls help prevent shoreline erosion, and they protect our coastlines. So you're preaching to the choir, and I appreciate you. Let's see, Ms. Satari. Mr. City Manager, can you answer the question again, like you did at my town hall, when we talked about slipaway and the issue with the widening of the road there, and that entrance in was going to be handled by the county when the bridge was widened? Could you address that again?
That is correct. They had to work with Lee County and their design plans for the bridge project. It was not installed now, because if they did, it would get destroyed at the time when the project came through. But they have to have a turn lane, and I don't know if they did money, I don't know the financial side of it. I don't know if they did a money in lieu of or a deferred site plan improvement where when it's done, then they'll construct their piece, or I don't know how it's going to be resolved, but I do know that that was part of it, because they had to come back in and amend their plan with us to incorporate that.
Okay, maybe we can ask that. Some of us are going on Friday to MPO at Lee County. I'll put that on my list.
I can make a call to
That would be great.
the Lee County Department of
That
Transportation
would be
Director and find out, and I'll send you all an email.
Yeah, I should have asked that question this morning in our CTAC meeting. Mr. Hulsey, again, I hope you're able to come to my town hall on Saturday at Banyan Trace. We will be talking about the old golf course, but I think it was the mayor who mentioned last meeting that, that project, we're looking 10 years out. And my hope is, and I think a lot of people's hope, and we'll know when we see the survey results, that we keep that as green as possible. But again, I don't think anyone's opposed to putting a community pool there, especially because we no longer have one. I hope we get several in the next 20 years. Ms. Falco, I apologize, but I don't know what you sent 5 times to us, because I have not seen it. Maybe staff could get with you after the meeting to get clarification on that. And Mr. Shadrack, yes, you were correct. We did talk about that. We talked about that, emulating that county report. I thought we had consensus, but I don't remember. I'll reach out to finance and ask that question, because I think we all agreed that it was a pretty clean and easy to read report. And let's see, I think that's it. Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. City Manager?
Just an update on that report.
Thank you.
That was an example of a unilateral decision made by administration against council.
Got you. Okay. So we're not going to get that report. What? Were you kidding? You were kidding.
What happened there, I know I'm kidding, and I know most of you think I am as well, or know I am as well. So what happened with that was there was a request to produce additional financial reports. We were producing quarterly reports, and there was a reference made to the data that was in the Lee clerk, or yes. He produces unaudited monthly financials. So what we did was we came to you all. I brought our quarterly financial report, said we can easily do this monthly, so increase the period from 4 times a year to 12 times a year, and it has the data that's available, how much revenue we collect each month, how much expenditures we collect each month, and then year end, it would be an unaudited number that we would produce. You all have been getting that since we did that, and I think there is an expectation by the resident that he was going to get the format he wants.
Okay.
But we produced what we could produce with the files and the software that we have.
And the audited numbers, correct?
The audit numbers come with the ACFR.
Got you.
So they're unaudited monthly financials.
Okay,
And
thank you for
That was
clarifying.
based on a request that I made, and they satisfied that way. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Donnell?
Thank you, Mayor. The gentleman that brought up the yacht club, thank you. In advance of our meeting, Mr. City Manager, could we please have an update to how we're going to be funding funding mechanism for the yacht club. I think you all ran a report a few years back, but that was based on, I think, $150 million number. So in advance of that, could we get that so we can go over and be prepared to have a concise conversation about those numbers? Do I need to get a second or something, council? But I think that'd be very helpful for council to see how we're paying for it.
We can put one together.
All right. And then number two, the last thing for me, there was one thing, Mayor, thank you for reading that. There's one other piece that I want to offer when everyone comes to meetings. We get this packet, it's online. There was something in there called the Pledge of Civility. You know, I like to accentuate the positive for all the speakers. They have seen an improvement in addressing issues. But there are two other pieces. It says we will direct all comments to the issues, but there are two other things that say we will be respectful to each other, even when we disagree. And we will avoid personal attacks. Now, we can't make the speakers do that, but I would just say to you, once again, I thank council for providing that and to conducting themselves in that professional manner. Letting you all know, the ones that come here, the children are listening, and the things that they ask and they say, I understand, and it's disappointing to me because it's a choice. So those that come here understand that people are watching, listening, and we ask as council members that you all abide by, because you see how we abide. We want to practice what we preach. But again, at the end of the day, understand that you can interpret and do whatever you want, but that would be surely appreciated in the new year. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Lehman.
Yeah, Councilwoman Loster pretty much covered almost everything. The woman who spoke about Redfish Point, you're correct. It has not come up in front of council yet, but not only that, you need to be aware, it is not owned by the city. It's privately owned by the Zemmel Trust. So when it comes up to council, it would be for a rezoning. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Do you want me to bring up that other?
I thought you were going to do that under reports.
Okay, I will do that at reports.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Councilmember Kilrain.
Yeah, I'm reacting to an e-comment we had from Mr. Stolzis. Basically, he referenced that we should be looking at infrastructure and improving our water situation by using desalination. And I couldn't let that one go by because desalination is very expensive, energy intensive. And the process that we have right now of our reclamation system and RO system puts us in a catbird seat in years to come. RO is using water that is not capable of being used for anything else because of its salinity and murkiness. We clean up to perfection, and recycle system is the best system around, and probably those combined systems are better than anything else in the United States. So with all due respect, and I'm happy to talk to them about in further detail, desalination is not an outlet that would be beneficial to the city. So thank you, Mayor.
Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to enhance Councilwoman Laster's list of unique opportunities that Cape Coral offers. And this is going to springboard off of something Dr. Donnell asks every week, is to bring something positive to our community. And so this was a great question. List some things that Cape Coral has that are unique that will drive people to our city. I have a short list. Gator Mike's Amusement Park. Gator Mike's Amusement Park. Go-kart rides, zip lines, mini golf, 4 Mile Cove, trails, walking parks, environmental sightseeing, Serenia Vista, Manatee Park. We have people come from all over to see our manatees at Serenia Vista Manatee Park. Cape Coral Museum of History. If you want to see the things we're dealing with today, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it's all the same. UEP, traffic, growth, same stuff over and over. But it's really interesting to see how previous councils and previous administrations dealt with it, that's a great spot to visit. Wicked Dolphin, we have our own craft distillery, offers tours. Pretty neat place. Sunsplash, wonderful location, just added a wave pool. The Courts, third largest pickleball facility in the state of Florida, but also host to our very own tournament, the Cape Coral Open, which brings the number one men and women's pickleball players in the world to our community. Yellow Fever Creek Campground will soon be open, but it's on its way in the middle of a beautiful environmental park. The Charlotte Harbor Preserve, great place for fishing, canoeing, kayaking, wonderful outdoor place. And Cape Coral BMX, which, by the way, for those of you who went, this past weekend hosted the national tournament in Cape Coral. And for those riders who won, they punched their ticket to Worlds in Australia. Those are just some places. We have wonderful events that bring people from all over, Boom, Art Fest, Tour de Cape, and so forth. Thank you.
You forgot the largest flag in the state. Oh, we don't have that yet. That's right.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to the next item of the agenda. We have reports. Councilmember Steinke, report.
Thank you, Mayor. January 8th, I attended the Lee County Tourist Development Council, where I'm a member. On the 14th, I participated, like all of us did, in the CRA and in our committee of the whole. On the 15th, I attended the Cape Coral Construction Industry Association's Showcase of Homes Awards celebration. 21st of January, this morning, I wanted to thank the mayor for filling in for me, as I had a conflicting obligation, and so he sat in for me at the CTAC this morning. I would remind all of our citizens, those watching, that the city manager's annual report just came out. It's available on the website for anyone that was listening in around concerns of us being a safe city. You'll find some interesting information in there about the pride we can have in our local law enforcement and the safety that's provided to our citizens, as well as the reaction and attendance by our fire department in dealing with our folks when their safety might be in peril or their health might be in peril. So it's a great read. It's only about 24, 25 pages long, somewhere in there, but great information there. I'd encourage everyone to go to the website and take a look at our annual report. And unless there are any objections by my colleagues here, I would plan on leaving Sunday and making my way to Tallahassee, where I'll attend the legislative meetings in Tallahassee, along with our Florida League of Cities and our lobbyists that work on our behalf there in Tallahassee, and then be returning on Wednesday, late afternoon, early evening. That's it for me.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Lehman. I see your light on, but we do have a list going down for our reports in a specific order, so we will get to you here shortly.
Not a problem.
Councilmember Donnell, report.
Thank you, Mayor. Yesterday, for Dr. Martin Luther King annual celebration breakfast in Fort Myers, I was able to attend it, represent the city, and it was just great to see the honorees that they noted and people out there, and just a reminder that at the end of the day, with all the speeches and the celebration, it's all about how we respect each other, and that was the premise and the theme. So it was a great event, and I was glad to be able to attend. Thank you. That's all.
Councilmember Kaduc.
Thank you, Mayor. On January 8th, I attended the Horizon Council Arts and Culture Committee meeting. It was the first one. I'm looking forward to being a part of this committee. And that same evening, I attended the community cooperative event supporting them at Topgolf. On January 9th, I attended the Horizon Council executive meeting. And today we had our Cape Coral Transportation Advisory Commission. And just like Councilmember Steinke, I too plan to attend the FLC days in Tallahassee, January 25th through 28th. And just a reminder, I did ask, and it has been set up, that on January 30th, which is day 2 of our budget workshop, that I attend via phone. Thank you.
Okay, and we have Councilmember Kilrain.
Yeah, on January 8th at Town Hall, well attended, over 100 people were at it. I'd like to thank Sharon Woodbury for a great presentation on EDO, and We had some good discussions on a whole variety of topics, but thank you for staff in support of that. January 9th to 10th, Michelle Hoffman, IT's retirement. January 10th, stopped by the Art Festival, and I was able to find a parking place. On January 13th, I was on Jason Jones' Daybreak, speaking a little bit about Venezuela oil, but he got me in a corner on Redfish Point and property taxes, so I commented on those. So that's a recorded dialogue, so if you want to go to Jason Jones' Daybreak, you can listen to that. January 13th, participated in Charter School Board. I would like to invite anyone who is interested in the quality of the programs and the staff that the charter schools has. A principal gave a report and it was excellent. What energy and just total good things happening at the school. Again, they had the 100% graduation rate, the first time that's attained in a long time. And they're pressed right now to find space, actual physical space, to support another 54 additional students matriculating in for next year. On January 14th, to participate in CRA and Cal, and January 15th, attended the CCCIA Showcase of Homes, along with Bill Steike, Councilman Laster and Lehman and the mayor. A great showcase, probably the best one that I've seen in a long time. And I think they had over 200 people there. Wade, I think you said 209. So excellent presentation that night. January 15th, also attended the BIA new board of directors. With mayor also attended. And on January 15th in the South, went to the Southwest Florida League of Cities. Mayor hosted that, and excellent job presentation by TICO there on natural gas and opportunities to expand natural gas to both moving fleets of school buses and garbage, and also looking at maybe some infrastructure in the Cape in future years. On the 16th, along with Mayor and Councilman Lehman and city staff, city manager, went to the BMX and little did I know, I was greatly surprised at the sophistication of that operation down there. That's ranked, I guess, 7th in the nation. What an incredible event. I stopped back again another day and froze, but it was really, they really had that thing filled up. And that was a great attraction. On January 20th, Legislative Action Days in FLC webinar. And on January 20th, LCREC, and January 21st, CTAC. And I will also be going up to Tallahassee Sunday night, returning Wednesday. So thank you, Mayor.
Okay, Councilmember Laster.
Thank you, Mayor. Last weekend, I also attended the Art Festival. Congratulations to the Rotary for putting on such an incredible event. It was very well attended, packed, and the weather was gorgeous. Last Thursday, I also attended the Southwest Florida League of Cities luncheon out in LaBelle. It was great. It was informative. I didn't know we had natural gas in our city, so I look forward to that for our future. And I also attended the Cape Coral Construction Industry Association Awards Dinner. Congratulations to that group. That was an incredible event, and to hear about and see some of those gorgeous homes that we have in our city, we're very proud. I'm very proud that we have that. Today, I also attended our Transportation Advisory Council meeting along with some others. I'll also be attending the Florida League of Cities in Tallahassee, leaving Sunday, coming back Wednesday. And our biggest, exciting, most great news is that we hit our goal for Youth Council, $21,972.04. So we were able to take 10 children, and we are very excited. The children are beside themselves. Anything that we raise after, we'll be using hopefully to take them on some excursions, tour of the monuments, as well as I think the Smithsonian is what they voted on wanting to go see, and the National Archives. So they're going to have a pretty jam-packed trip. Those of us that are chaperoning, get ready, put your running shoes on because it's going to be busy. I will also be attending National League of Cities in DC and working with our federal lobbyists to meet with our legislators on the Hill. So I'm very excited about doing that. And then lastly, we have a movie in the park for Youth Council. It's on Friday the 13th. It's a Valentine's movie in the park. We sold a whopping 2 tickets online. So get your tickets. We'll be selling popcorn. We'll be showing the movie Clueless. And we need a lot of people to come because we have 4 amazing food trucks coming. And it would be sad if they were only cooking for like 6 of us. So please come if you can. You can purchase your tickets online or you can buy them at Cultural Park where we will be set up by 4 p.m. The movie starts 7 p.m. sharp. And Councilmember Long, I'm sorry about your canes. It was a nail biter till that last interception. Sorry. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Lehman, report.
Yes. I'd like all the citizens to know that we have a young lady here in the city who was going to the Olympics she made the Olympic women's ice hockey team. Kudos all the way. Her family is thrilled. I've talked to them. And we only wish her the best. I also want to mention that on the 10th and the 11th, now on the 15th, yes, the awards dinner for the CCCIA was as a result of the 6 of us that were judges, of which I was one, on the 10th and the 11th. And there are some beautiful, beautiful homes. There is a book on the showcase. It has a map in it. And on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, you can go and look at these homes. It is well worth doing. There are some absolutely phenomenal homes. Thank you.
And Friday.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Excuse me. You're right. I'm sorry. Thank you for the correction.
Okay, Councilmember Long.
Thank you, Mayor. Just real quickly, I too am planning on attending Legislative Action Days in Tallahassee from January 25th to the 28th. Looking forward to a productive trip, advocating on behalf of the residents with you all. Thank you.
Okay. Back on the, back on the 12th, I was a guest speaker on the Cape Coral Talk Radio. On the 13th, I attended the Fire Department Union meeting. It was a good meeting where we were trying to, make the process maybe better in the future. Some recommendations from some of the board members. Thank God we had some paramedics there, but I was able to walk out on my own power. But we had a well-rounded discussion that look forward to maybe trying to make the process a little better for the future. Also on the 15th, I attended the Southwest Florida League of Cities meeting in LaBelle. And also on the 15th, I attended Cape Coral Construction Industry Showcase of Homes Award Dinner. A great event there. Probably at least 200 people there. So it was probably the most participated award dinner that I can remember since I've been going there. So you guys did a great job. Also attended the Cape Coral BMX national race. We had a national race here in the city of Cape Coral. And I was told that we had every state in the United States had a representative from every state to participate in the race. So it was about a 3-day event, and the winners were trying to qualify for Australia. Wasn't it, Mr. City Manager? Wasn't it Australia? They were trying to go to the race in Australia. So I know many of them were extremely hopeful that they would qualify and move on. Also, today I attended the CTAC meeting. And also attended a meeting with County Commissioner Ruane, and the city manager was present, and the county manager. And what we were doing was going over the topics. We had a meeting about 6 weeks ago, I guess. And during our first meeting, I think we identified about 12, 13 items of concern that we wanted to try to work out with the county. So between that meeting and the meeting that we had and all the discussion that the city manager had with the county manager over the last 6 weeks or so, I just wanted to give you a quick update. Del Prado Boulevard, I know there was some concern with the median beautification. I know we had spoke about that as a council. And that was one of the discussions that we had with them, and I am pleased to let you know that in yesterday's meeting, there was a 5-0 vote to approve $500,000 for median improvements on Del Prado Boulevard. So I think our discussions were very fruitful, and I'm glad to see a result as a result of that. Cape Coral Bridge Widening Project, that's still moving forward on the same schedule. There are some concerns how to pay for that project. I know there's a variety of ideals that they were discussing. One was possible toll increase for the debt that's needed, but we'll see exactly where that lands. But that project is moving forward, and we do have a interlocal agreement with that particular project as well. Then there was Pondella Boulevard and Northeast 25th Avenue, concern for a traffic signal at that location. And as a result of our discussion, the city and the county agreed, or it will verbally agreed. It needs to be memorialized with a mutual understanding that we will split the cost of that particular project 50-50. So we've already done a traffic study there. It warrants a signal. So that'll be moving forward, and we'll see some additional things coming forward as a result of that discussion.
Mayor?
Yes.
I see some squints. So it's on the north side of that intersection, it's actually Hancock Creek Boulevard. So in that signal, the road changes names, but it's on the eastern end of the city on Pondella.
Right. The other road that we discussed that at this point have not identified any type of funding, but they said for now they don't. It's on an indefinite hold. No funding has been identified, and that was for the intersection of Northeast 24th Avenue and Kismet Parkway. We talked about a roundabout, but at this time the county doesn't have any funding to move that project forward. Item 5 was land use and zoning on Burnt Store Road, basically alignment of the city and county land use and zoning ordinance, because there are some county parcels, some city parcels. So we wanted to come up with an agreement. So staff will be, I think our city manager, the county manager, a coordinated effort on a possible solution for that, where we're both have the same types of recommendation, no matter if it's a city property or a county property. So that'll be a future discussion on that. 6th was land use and zoning on Pine Island Road. And again, same scenario. We'll have a future meeting with the county and our staff because there are some county parcels and some city parcels. So when it comes to some alignment there, we want to make sure that we both can agree on one scenario where we're applying the same rules that they are. Greater Pine Island Water Association franchise territory swap, negotiations and agreements involving service territories requiring joint approval. On that particular item, I have here as number 7, development on hold, so I don't think that's coordinates that, but I know you're having future discussions, my understanding, with the county to try to come up with an agreement, whether the water service is Pine Island or the city of Cape Coral. Maybe you could elaborate a little bit, Mr. City Manager.
The development of the territorial swap is on hold. The developments that were triggering that right now are not moving forward. And so what we're trying to do is get an agreement with Chippewa for that. But the development that was triggering that.
The development that kind of triggered that conversation doesn't look like that particular development's on hold. So it's not pressing, but I think we're still having those discussions. Item 8, Lee County EMS, the 5-year growth plan. They've already identified the 5-year growth plan. They've actually funded it. So they are moving forward. I know we are going to get a new EMS station here in Cape Coral as a result of that. We've already increased our EMS units. We went from 5 about 3 years ago to 11, 10 or 11 today, and I believe 10. So we've over doubled in the last 3 years. So they are really investing in public safety just like we are. D&D boat ramp property, discussions regarding improvements and redevelopment of the boat ramp property. We are, I think the interlocal agreement was just sent over to the city manager the last day or two. So we're going to review that. I know the county needs a site plan from us, and we're trying to come up with an agreement how we're going to move forward and how we're going to partner with any development of the D&D property. So that's still ongoing as well. And then, of course, everybody's talking about the Burnt Store Road widening. One of the things in our discussion today, right now, that particular project is slated for 2036. We all know we're trying to move that up considerably. It is one of their top priorities, and they are looking at a variety of scenarios, how to fund that. One of the scenarios that they are entertaining is trying to incorporate the debt for that particular project into the Cape Coral Bridge, new Cape Coral Bridge, to put both of those projects under, one debt bond going forward. So that's what they're discussing. But in the meantime, understanding that there is a safety hazard up in that area, we had those 3 deaths. The commission did approve $5.7 million to do temporary improvements, safety improvements on that property to at least try to make it safer until we can identify the funding mechanism and get that project started. So I just wanted to thank the commissioners in the county for recognizing the need of some safety improvements. And again, they approved $5.7 million. You're going to see things of rumble strips, passing lanes, paved shoulders, in order to make that stretch. I believe it's a little over 5 miles, a little more safer than it is now. We talked about the problem with trash on Veterans Parkway. As I had mentioned today in the meeting, there's a lot of construction in the northwest part of the city. You have, construction workers, delivery trucks up and down Veterans Highway that are constantly losing the load. And you're seeing a lot of trash. And when it hits, it's just going everywhere. So it's basically, they said, hey, just let us know when you see something. So my recommendation, if anyone's watching in the public, please utilize 311. If you see something up there, let us know. And then we'll make sure that we get that information over to the county so they can respond out there, and said they would try to do that as quick as possible. Joint meeting with Lee County. I know some council members here had a desire to have a joint meeting with the county. And I think a lot of it had to do with a lot of the items that's on this list. But as you can see, we've made a lot of progress on this list just in a couple meetings. So I'm glad that we had those, and we will continue to have those until all these items were resolved. But at this point in time, the county commission does not have a desire to have any type of a joint meeting. So we will just continue in the path that we are doing now, as long as it's fruitful and we're getting things accomplished, which I think we are. We'll continue in that path. So I would recommend to any of the council members, if there is something else that's not on this list that I talked about today, of course you can go and talk to your county commissioner as well. But if you want me to incorporate that topic of discussion in these meetings that we're going to be having, probably every 6 to 8 weeks, feel free to get that information either to myself or the city manager who attends those meetings as well. We talked about the CDBG DR awards and agreements. And as you heard in your, I believe, your one-on-one meetings this week, there's some concerns with that. Exactly, there is, I think, a push in federal government. I know our city manager and staff have been talking with our federal lobbyist. There's a 6-year window to award those monies. And I think there is a push to try not to award those monies. So I think we had about $128 million of projects that we identified. We're hoping to get some, but there could be a possibility we get none. So we will work hard, continue to work hard on those projects. There's some great projects that I think would benefit the city, but we have to go through the red tape of the federal government, and we are, not we, but the county will be asking for an extension over and above that 6-year period. Don't know if that's going to be, if that will be awarded, but they will be asking for that. And if I hear something on that, I will report, back to council at a future date. That's about what I took out of the meetings. Anything that you would like to add to that, Mr. City Manager?
I would just like to thank Commissioner Ruane and County Manager Dave Harner for the collaborative relationship they have to address items in Cape Coral that also impact, people that they represent. So thank you.
All right, and that's all I have for report, Mr. Commissioner. Oh, you just got a raise. Council Member Kilrain, I see your light on, so.
I just want to mention that based on that incredible list of things that you just went through, hats off to you and to Kevin Ruane and to City Manager and County Manager. I certainly am satisfied with the way that thing is progressing. Full support of what you've done on that, and incredible what experience, expertise, and knowledge of the city and what's important for the city does in being able to get stuff accomplished. And thank you for what you did. Thank you, City Manager. Really appreciate it. And it's a demonstration of expertise at work. And thank you. Appreciate it.
And I'd like to mention also the collaboration was, forthcoming on both sides. And I think it was extremely beneficial to be able to sit down at the table, roll your sleeves up and try to find results for some issues. They were aware of some of those issues, and the ones that they weren't, they worked with us. And I think Commissioner Ruane, has a desire. He represents the city of Cape Coral, and he lives here in the city of Cape Coral, and he wants to do all he can. So I just wanted to thank him and the county manager for taking the time, being collaborative, and being able to find solutions to problems. And that's what it's all about. So thank you. Mr. City Attorney, report.
Nothing to report. Thank you.
Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple of announcements. Cape Coral is hosting the 35th Annual Tour de Cape cycling event Sunday, January 25th. Weekend festivities begin with a kickoff celebration from 4 to 7, Friday, January 23rd at the Westin Marker 92 Waterfront Bar and Bistro. We will be hosting our budget winter workshop next week, January 29th and 30th. That will be located here in council chambers at 9 a.m. And we are also hosting our 3rd annual Waterways Science Festival on Saturday, February 7th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at 528 Cultural Park Boulevard. This is a family-free event featuring educational activities and games highlighting the importance of our waterways. We do have live animals, mangrove and native tree plant giveaways, volunteer opportunities, arts and crafts, hands-on lab experiments, boating education, food trucks, and more. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Time and place of future meeting. We have a Cape Coral Council, it says here budget workshop, but I know that is a budget workshop. It's a 2-day event, be held on Thursday, January 29th, 2026, and Friday, January 30th, 2026, here in council chambers beginning at 9 a.m. And Mr. City Manager, I see your light on.
I'm sorry, I forgot my high five highlight for tonight. I'm going to ask Maureen to put up a couple of photos. So which one are you doing first? The sign? So we all had approved a new sign at Sunsplash in the courts. This was an example of what was there. It was kind of a makeshift wood sign with a kind of a pseudo roof. Here's a picture of what the new sign looks like. So that is now backlit, looks very professional, and really draws attention to two of those great amenities that generate tourism in Cape Coral. The next item is, so we had several complaints about the condition of our fields. These actually happen to be the fields condition at Jim Jeffers. And so mole crickets infestation, lack of time to rest. Our parks department and our staff shut those fields down over break. The park was closed. There wasn't any soccer or any type of events at night. This is what those fields look like today. So high five highlight to our Parks and Rec department, all the great things they're doing for our community. It does not go unnoticed. Thank you.
Okay, with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?